those young offenders that have in the past been made the subject
of ASBO's antisocial behaviour orders.
This policy recognises that tackling crime
is not just about punishment.
Education is also crucial.
And that is why we intend to bring in a new system
whereby young people who observe the terms of their ASBO
will be entitled to what?
Entitled to a good behaviour bond. This is a one-off payment which will be contingent on attendance at a recognised education...
OK, James, the costings.
It's not hard with the costings.
Explain to me why a very similar idea was thrown out by her own Chancellor only last year for being too expensive.
Get to the delinquency bribe.
It's not a good behaviour bond, but a delinquency bribe rewarding criminal behaviour. I'm sorry, I'm struggling to understand why my right honourable friend is having so much
Don't let her get up.
Expenditure of £10 million with an estimated take-up rate of 15%.
Go on, James, finish her off.
Are these figures correct? Question 2, do they represent value for money?
How have they got those figures?
Well, value for money is involved in keeping our young offenders out of prison.
By paying them.
This is a total fucking car crash.
Somebody leaked it.
No.
Was it you?
No!
It wasn't Kirsty, Joe. It was nothing to do with her. This is all my fault.
Out. Start talking. All ready for tomorrow?
We've done the research. It's a good policy, and Joe takes no prisoners in the house. We've just made a few tweaks to the speech. Oh, no.
What's up?
My brother.
James needs a victory on the floor tomorrow. People are saying he lacks a killer instinct.
Well, Joe Porter doesn't, so he better get his mojo working. Why do we need lobbyists?
It's about giving my clients the opportunity to influence the legislation that will affect.
I mean, obviously, I can't compete with MP's researcher when it comes to credibility, but somebody has to sell their soul to provide Daniel with a sofa to sleep on.
I'll get some drinks.
You like her, don't you?
Shut up.
You like her.
Don't. Just don't.
Hurry up, Danny. She's coming back.
Licorice rib ticklers. Would you want your ribs tickled with one of those?
Dunno. I'm not a girl. Or anything, but, no.
James, it's Ashiko. Get back to the office right now.
I'm getting a bus, but would you like me to walk you to the tube?
I think I'll be okay, thanks.
All right. Good night.
The speech, the report, the appendices, the professional feedback, you left them all in a pub toilet.
They're in the same folder, yeah.
And what shall I say, Danny? How shall I explain it? My idiot researcher, who I'm always praising to high heaven, took his eye off the ball.
You can do that, yeah.
When?
Whenever you want, I mean...
When did you leave it in the pub?
When? Last night, Kirsty wants to become an MP's researcher, so she came to me for advice.
So, it was somewhere between hitting on the intern and getting another bag of cheese and onion crisps?
I was trying to help her out.
And you thought you'd show her a researcher at the peak of his powers?
I don't know, I thought maybe the cleaners might have found the folder and thrown it away, you know, that's what I'd hoped.
Great! A year's work.
I know that better than anyone.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's dead in the water now. Finished. A year's work flushed down the toilet.
I'm sorry.
We had an opportunity to get a decent and progressive policy onto the agenda, and you blew it. You blew it, Danny.
You kicked her ass. Good night, Vienna. Would it be vulgar to high-five?
I think in this case it could certainly be justified.
Ah, thick.
5. So, still think I lack killer instinct?
You did okay.
Just okay.
No, ignore Little Miss Too Cool for School. You totally ruled.
But we win the Portman Bright account, and it'll push us into the top 10 lobby firms. Suppose you're wondering why I've divided the job between the pair of you.
No, not really. Never occurred to us.
Jake, you'll concentrate on looking after their people. They're sending down 2 PR bods, Alex and Sally. Scott, you'll be bringing in the obvious Home Office players. But on top of that, though, we need some Tories.
Tories?
Listening to Kanye West on their iPods, wearing flip-flops, hugging hoodies. The newer, the better.
Portman Bright must have known that we were basically a labour agency when they approached us, though.
Yeah, and given the current state of play, I wish that perception to change. So let's build up our Tory contacts. Or I'll have to start employing some Tories to do it.
Her Excellency, the High Commissioner of South Africa, has the pleasure of inviting Joe Porter and guest. This is that AIDS conference thingy.
President of South Africa's the keynote speaker. I mean, they're hosting a big reception afterwards. I was meant to be going too with Joe.
You think that might be awkward now?
I could live with awkward. My dad was on the executive committee for the anti-apartheid movement. I mean, he knew the president. They were friends, you know?
Yeah?
Yeah. Joe was really involved as well. We used to have dinners for the ANC at our house. Me and Scott handed out peanuts in bowls. Oliver Tambo, Archbishop Trevor Huddleston. If there were any peanuts left, we were allowed to eat them, so we always watched them, like, really anxiously. I think the guests got quite freaked out.
I'd have been freaked out with you and your brother staring at me.
You know what? Maybe this is an opportunity. Maybe if I talk to Joe there outside the office, things will...
Joe in her office?
Yes.
Roger.
Shit, that's...
The Chief Whip, yeah.
OK, so you've slept with half the rising stars of the Conservative Party.
You might want to start this conversation again.
As a hugely talented, very well-connected young journalist, you're on very good terms with half the rising stars of the new Conservative Party.
It is true. I've got some friends in W10,
Yeah. So, who do you see as the real up-and-coming talent?
Oh, I get it. Scott, you don't do Tory. At least, not in that sense.
And I wish it could stay that way, but I do have my orders. What about Conrad Spelling, James Northcote?
James is good. Frightfully driven. All modernised and on message, you know? Keeps both an ethnic and a shirt lifter in his office.
So can you get me an introduction?
No.
Oh, come on, Sophie.
Why should I give up my contacts to you?
Because I can get you an interview with the Chancellor.
No, you can't.
No, I can't. No, not with the Chancellor. But come on, Sophie, help me out a little bit here, please.
Well, Scott, if you want a favour, you're going to have to ask for it properly. I want dinner as well. Don't bother booking a table. I come to your flat, we drink lots of wine. I may even smoke a cigarette. And then we blow out the restaurant and go straight to bed.
And there's no point in messing with a winning formula, I guess. When?
How about tomorrow?
Done.
Thanks.
You would have done it. If the situation had been reversed, don't tell me you wouldn't have done exactly the same thing. That's politics.
Politics.
I'm eating.
I'm smoking. What are those funny green things?
Courgette. There's some in the pan.
Pass?
You know what Steve is up to, don't you?
Yeah.
Person with whom he's most pleased will be...
Said yes, Scott.
All right, just, you know. Don't want it to cause any friction between us.
I don't think it will, you know. You're big enough to handle your disappointment. Ah, the oldest researcher in town.
That would be so funny if it was actually true.
You're 26, aren't you? In the world of researchers, that should get you like a telegram from the Queen saying, "Time to move on, young man."
You're 31, aren't you? In the world of Shoreditch caners, that should get you like a telegram from the Queen saying, "Please stop. You're embarrassing everybody."
I'm not a caner.
Oh, right, because you go to the gym as well, yeah.
Knowing how to have a good time doesn't make you a caner,
Yeah,
Daddy.
Jake, I'm not interested. Leave me alone.
Haven't seen any news today. How did the speech go? Want to come for a drink?
No.
What's up with the old researcher? No, I'm not ready.
Yeah. Come on, Wendy. Strap your thighs around my engine.
Why do you always call each other that?
Tramps like us.
Popular culture, Danny. Don't worry about it. It's nothing to do with politics.
No sneaky phone calls to Geordie Pete after a couple of pints?
Tuesday's the new Thursday.
Still followed by the old Wednesday.
Ah, yeah, you read my mind. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool, yeah. A couple of grams, yeah.
We've been looking at the degree to which an increase in gun and knife crime is leading to a retreat from the big cities by those...
I could have a word with Joe if you want.
Yeah, and then you could go and sort out the kid who stole my action.
It was a genuine offer, though.
Thanks, but I've got to sort this one out myself.
But just make sure Joe remembers how indispensable you are.
Am I?
How many sick days he had in the last year, Dan?
Don't remember.
I do, it's none.
Plenty of people would love to work for Joe.
Yeah, well, the question is whether plenty of people could work for Joe. You were like a maniac on your chaff bribe.
Bond, it was a good policy. Even if it means one kid goes to college rather than Feltham, it would be worth it.
Well, then keep fighting for it.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Sketch writers are going to town on Joe Porter and her delinquency bribe.
See how a bit of rebranding works?
Listen to this. Yesterday, the usually formidable Miss Porter wore the expression of the proverbial rabbit in the headlights as she outlined her case to offer bursaries to teenagers in return for a pledge not to drop their chewing gum.
Ever been to Seville?
We should go sometime.
Walk the streets at night, eat tapas, listen to flamenco. White sheets in our sultry hotel room.
Can you think of a small obstacle to that little idyll?
Well, it could be researching. I don't know, small business startup programs in Andalusia.
Andalusia?
Spanish not on the syllabus at your comprehensive.
No, but unlike your private school, it did have girls. Something which would have helped with your sexual development.
No complaints about it so far.
They also taught us manners.
Oh. Probably the Shadow Home Secretary. Always picks the most annoying time to call. George.
Germany calling. I'd like a meeting with you today, James. Cancel it or send a Sheikah. This is rather important. I'll tell you when I see you.
Wait, George can only do lunchtime, and I've got this meeting scheduled with the lobbyists. Can you take it for me?
Well, who is it?
Some future hotshot Sophie Montgomery told me about.
I hate lobbyists.
I know. I'll make it up to you tonight.
You staying in town?
On the weekend, hopefully.
Oh, well, then I'll take the lobbyist.
Ah, Joe, I've been going through the report again, and I've had an idea about getting the bomb back on the agenda.
Where's Kirsty?
Oh, photocopying, I think.
Professor Robert Simpson from the University of Birmingham. I'm meeting him in a couple of days. And this is his book on community empowerment. Could you do me a report with a summary and a brief evaluation, please?
I've already read it, actually.
But I'm interested in what Kirsty thinks. After all, she's keen to become a researcher, so we should give her a bit more responsibility. You okay with that, Kirsty?
Fine, but what about the,
filing? Give that to Danny.
Are you...
Sadly, you're not who I'm waiting for.
Quite sure about that. James Northcote sends his apologies, but a bit of a crisis flared up in the office.
All right. Well, we could have rearranged or...
Well, hopefully I'll be able to handle it.
No, of course, of course. Very nice to meet you. Would you like a drink?
Just mineral water.
Village Vermin. Oh, the website.
It claims that your researcher, Matt, got his job by performing an act of fellatio on you.
Sorry, it's just, what Matt sucked me off to get his job.
You can laugh, James, but don't underestimate the power of such rumours.
Well, surely you don't believe this nonsense.
I'd like to hear it from you.
I did not give Matt his job because he's... Come on, George, this is ridiculous.
All right. In spite of the vogue for gay rights sweeping the party, I didn't actually believe it.
Oh, I'm glad to hear it.
I know where your tastes really lie.
Sorry, what does that mean?
It means I've seen you at parties.
Seen what?
You flirting with pretty girls in summer frocks over the canapes. You have a wandering eye. Nothing wrong with that, but watch out for rumours, James.
Rumours?
See this as a warning.
A warning about what, for God's sake? Not to give out research posts in exchange for blowjobs?
I'd spend a bit more time in real Britain if I were you. You know, the place of boring, traditional, conservative values where your wife, family, constituents live. I mean it. Play things with a straight bat. Some rumours won't go away so easily. Oh, wait till I'm out the door before sticking up two fingers at me.
Pullman Bright believe that genetic technology will be invaluable in the war on terror. I mean, we're way beyond eyeball recognition now. Do you want to hear the lobbying code of conduct?
Sorry?
About being a good corporate citizen, current views on energy legislation, forging partnerships between the private sector and politicians to the mutual advantage of both.
I'd love to hear about all of that.
Or Plan B, we fuck the sales patter off, send the soft drinks back and get a decent bottle of wine.
Well, I think it might still be part of your sales patter, but let's give it a whirl.
Are you reading this as well? I've always been fascinated by the anti-apartheid struggle. Yeah. Joe? Mm-hmm. I feel a bit bad about all of this.
All of what?
With Danny. He's really upset about it.
He's lucky he's around to be upset.
But, you know, He was telling me all about how he put that policy together.
We put it together, actually. Where is Danny, anyway?
I don't really know. Lunch?
You don't have time for long lunch breaks.
I wasn't actually at, hi, is that Mrs. Kelly? It's Danny Foster. You remember we talked about Brandon and his ASBO? Yeah. How's he doing now? You mentioned going back to college. Right? Right. OK. That's a pity. How long? 2 years. I see. OK, yeah, thanks. You too. Bye, 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 bye. No.
So, how did you get into it all? Politics, I mean.
Well, my dad came over here in the 1970s, and he was just incredibly hardworking, you know, and struggled with everything and never asked for any favors from the state. Started a small rice importing business and made sure I went to a good school. And he instilled a work ethic of rugged individualism in all of us that made me just realize the utter folly of socialism.
That's not true, is it?
Complete bollocks. No. My dad is lifetime Labour, although he's so fucking lazy, he usually forgets to vote. No, he worked in the computer department for the city council. My brother runs a club in Leicester.
Nice.
My sister is usually outraged about something, so that makes me the rebel of the family. So what about you? What are your family like?
My dad died a few years ago. My mother's a psychological terrorist.
It's unusual in a mother.
My brother's in politics. This is all true, by the way.
And do you get on with your brother, I mean?
Get on? I don't know about that. I've never really thought about it. He's just a family geek, you know?
I'm afraid we are now closing.
We're nearly done.
Everybody else is gone.
We'll let you know when we'd like the bill, thanks. So when do you want your clients to meet James?
Good lunch.
Oh, you know.
Lasted a long time.
James?
Came back from his meeting with George, rather grumpy.
Haha, surprise, surprise. When's he back?
No, he's gone back to the farm for the night to finish something up, he said. Do you want a coffee?
Mrs. Williams, it's Daniel Foster. Remember, I was doing the research on kids with ASBOs? Ah, you do remember good. Yes, I remember the rum punch. Well, I couldn't go to work for a week afterwards. Yeah. Yeah. How's Patrick?
Receive it! Receive it! There it goes, there it goes. Come on, come on. Stop it there, Ben. Stop it there on the chest. Come on, son. Come on the chest. Come on, get your leg round it. Come on, that's it, that's it. Up on the knee like you want it. Like you want it. That's it, go on.
Hey, Patrick!
Hey, hey, hey. I thought you lot just came down, took what you wanted, and then forgot about us.
Well, that's how I prefer it, Blab, but not this time. Lots of changes in your life recently.
Been doing mentoring in pupil referral units, explaining to the youth them what it's like being locked up.
Yeah, that's good.
So,
your mum says you're finishing your course?
Level 2 NVQ in health and social care.
You want to get into social work, she said?
Nah. Platinum.
You find it expensive?
I had to bust into a few houses at night to afford the books. Jokes.
It's an example of what could be achieved with our bond, what it's all about, really. So, I was wondering about bringing your MP down for a photo opportunity with you and your certificate.
Gang member turned do-gooder.
You got it.
And who's this opportunity really for?
All of us.
What are you so pleased about?
James Northcote, news to the new Tories. Meeting set up. Mission accomplished.
Seem to remember George Bush saying something similar?
The important thing is that we win the account, right?
Of course. So we need to hit them with a big charm offensive tonight.
What?
Alex and Sally from Portman Bright's PR department have arrived in London, and we're taking them out tonight.
Tonight?
Yep.
And you knackered after the other night?
No. I keep telling you. A trip to the gym and you're right as rain again.
Don't all have your appetite or stamina.
Come on. We'll pick up some gear, keep us going. It'll be a laugh. Bottom line is, we're in this together. So let's nail the fucker.
Right, let's go someplace else. You got a private members bar, Jake?
No.
Oh.
I have several. They actually fight for my name on the membership list because it's synonymous with
giving the bouncers something to do at the end of the night.
Where Jake goes, the beautiful, crazy people follow. I am the Pied Piper of the party crowd.
Well, quick toot first.
They're off their heads. They're all right. Come on, show a little faith. There's magic in the night.
Look, how would you feel if I bailed now?
What? It's early. No way.
Come on, mate. This is your department. I've set up all the meetings. Give us a break.
Who's it?
Sophie.
Go on, then. Fuck off. Mine and Ted look truly scrumptious. There's a threesome on the cards if I get back at a decent time.
Oh, I'll definitely do that. Especially with it being so light. I've got some reports to write for the morning, but I'm gonna leave you in my colleagues' capable hands.
Shouldn't you still be out partying with your prospective clients, then?
God, no. I don't want them remembering what I was like at 6 in the morning.
What about keeping an eye on Jake?
I didn't ask him to hold my hand while I was out sorting out meetings for them.
No, that was my job. How did you get on with James Northcote today?
Yeah, I met his advisor instead, Ashika Chandramani.
Oh. And what did you make of her?
Yeah, she seemed okay.
Ambitious girl.
You should never get on in politics, then. Chin-chin.
And she's pretty.
Not really my type.
Glum.
As well?
It's my little brother. Just back from a couple of months in Cape Town.
Why do posh people always have silly nicknames?
Duck. Why do we happily eat food past its sell-by date? Why do we despise central heating? Do we so enjoy fucking men who are not our social equals?
Morning. How was lunch with the lobbyists yesterday?
Fine.
What did you make of him?
Who?
Scott Foster, of course.
Yeah, I think he has some interesting prospective clients you should meet. I've penciled a lunch into your diary for next week.
You all right?
Sorry, what happened to make it up to you tonight?
I know. I'm sorry. I did leave him an email.
Yeah, I saw that.
Good. The thing is, I need to spend a little more time en famille this week.
Because saying it in French makes it less annoying?
We should be careful, that's all.
What's happened? George must have said something.
Not in so many words, no.
You're going to go back this weekend as well, right?
There must be some of your crowd you can go out with.
Because that's not condescending.
Ashika, this place is like a goldfish bowl. Sometimes we just have to protect ourselves.
But who are you really protecting?
Both of us.
Right, so this kid has done time in Feltham for street robberies. Now he wants to be a social worker. I mean, it's perfect. Poacher turned gamekeeper stuff.
Where would it be?
Outside his college seems the best place. I mean, he's a great example of why you need the carrot as well as the stick.
Yes, I have understood the point of doing it.
Yeah. Took a bit of legwork to find him.
All right, set it up.
How's it going?
Yeah, I think things are thawing out a bit at last.
That's good. Can you have a look at this for me?
What is it?
It's my report on the book Joe asked me to read.
It's about 10 pages long.
Yeah, I want it to be thorough.
She'll hate that. Hasn't got time to wade through reams of stuff. Right. OK, you can cut this. And this. And this.
Well, what is it?
Well, I don't think Bob Simpson wanted you to come to that conclusion about community empowerment.
You think I should take it out?
No, leave it. Joe likes a strong opinion.
Well done, guys. That's a big feather in our cap.
It's definite.
Well, a few I's to cross and T's to dot, but Bill Greening's been on the phone this morning.
Don't know, is it?
Excited about meeting all these politicians, so well done, Scott. And his team gave you a glowing report, Jake. I don't want to know what you got up to in your little foray into the fleshpots of London, but there's certainly a growing Jake fan club up there.
Fleshpots?
Well, you know me. Bottle of wine, March of the Penguins, that's my idea of a wild night these days. Anyway, that brings me to a tricky subject. Who's going to manage the account? In the end, I decided to let the clients have a say in the matter. Now, I don't want you to see this as a reflection of how I see you. Together, you are more than the sum of your parts, and you will both play an active role in dealing with Portman Bright. But they want Scott to manage the account. He's the public affairs specialist, and Greening's quite big on that side of things.
Well done, mate.
Are you all right with that, Jake?
Yeah, of course. Safe pair of hands, trumps, unpredictable brilliance. I've always known that.
Good man.
Portcourt's house? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, yeah. Yeah, right. I've just booked a cab to take us to the reception at South Africa House.
Have you got the local press sorted out yet for this photo op you mentioned?
Yeah, the Gazette will definitely be there. I'm waiting for London tonight to get back to me.
There's no point in you going to a party when you've got your plate full with all of that.
But this... It's been planned for weeks. We've talked about it. The South African president will be there.
Give your invitation to Kirsty.
What?
Oh, no, Joe. I've got nothing to wear.
Then I'll go by myself. It's up to you whether you waste the invitation, Kirsty. Danny?
Just go.
Are you sure? I mean, I know how much it means to you.
Yeah, so does she.
Then...
I can only sit in a taxi with her after that.
And I just find it so inspiring. The way in which Mandela challenged the South African government but never once abandoned his belief in non-violence.
He did, actually.
What?
The ANC adopted a military response to apartheid in 1961. Mandela was the head of their armed wing. Maybe you're thinking of Martin Luther King.
No, of course not. I just haven't got to that bit yet.
You all right?
Yep. Yeah, fine.
There's a party at the Cheeky Monkey tonight. We could go to the pub first for a couple of looseners.
You could celebrate your promotion.
It's not really a promotion.
Yeah, it is. Don't give the party a miss, actually. After all, probably been overdoing it a bit recently.
You're not saying?
Oh, mate. No. You got it just right, didn't you? Just the right balance. Second place is first loser and all that.
It's not about that.
Isn't it? Revel in your victory, mate. This is what it's all about.
I've come to see you because I'm going to leave my job.
I see. Who are you?
Danny Foster, Joe Porter's researcher.
Well, I don't want to seem rude, but difficult as things are at the moment, I think both Joe and the party can survive the departure of a researcher.
The good behaviour bond.
Made a dog's dinner of that one.
Well, yeah, but...
They were right about it being a bribe in a way.
No, they weren't. Not in any way. That's rubbish.
Rubbish?
It's not a bribe. We need to recognise how much it takes for someone to change their life like that. It shouldn't seem as if our only ideas are about punishment.
Did you come to resign or make a speech?
There was some unfair stuff said about Jo afterwards, and it wasn't her fault. The Tories had prior knowledge of the speech.
Prior knowledge?
Yeah. I left a folder containing our research and a copy of her speech in a pub toilet.
Well, that was certainly stupid.
Yeah.
Telling me this isn't that smart either, you know. Once it gets out, there's no MP who'll touch you.
I think Jo's a brilliant minister. I believe in what she stands for, and I don't want her to be tainted by my mistake.
All right. Thanks for telling me.
Fucking hell, mate. Sure you done the right thing?
I thought I could sort it out. I tried, but she just wants to humiliate me into resigning.
Constructive dismissal?
Yes, I think I'll give the Industrial Tribunal a miss.
So what are you going to do?
I'm thinking of writing a book about the importance of fashion in the contemporary rock scene.
Why is that funny?
No, really. Why is that idea so funny? You think I couldn't do it, don't you? What is you trying to say, Scott?
Oh, yeah, what a stupid mess.
Yeah. Hey!
Another drink.
Kirsty, this isn't the report I asked for.
Oh, give it here and I'll just...
The 2004 figures are what I need, and it's all reported crime, but excluding sexual offences.
Hi, Joe.
Roger.
Could we have a quick word in your office, please?
Listen,
It's okay. You don't need to say anything.
we can take stock after the weekend.
Fine.
I'll try to call you.
Well, now, Daniel.
Okay, I'm resigning. Kirsty can be the new researcher.
You appoint my staff as well now, do you?
She's good.
Yeah, she is.
What is it?
Kirsty.
What about her?
That's for you to work out. We're not here to analyse Kirsty. The South Africa House thing, that was not my finest hour.
You knew what it meant to me.
Maybe that's why I did it.
Why?
If you want to step up, you've got to grow up, Danny. We can't afford unnecessary fuck-ups. That said, you should have been at the reception. And Becky mentioned your dad.
London Tonight are going to do a feature on Patrick Williams as both kid and social worker.
Good work. And part of the reason why I'm not going to accept your resignation.
That's what you wanted, isn't it?
It's not your job to try and second-guess me.
Well, that was exactly my job.
You might want to indulge me a little here. Let me carry on deluding myself that I'm the one that makes the important decisions.
Do you think we can save the bond?
Well, it's cheaper than Trident. I think we'll get it in somewhere. He'll end up marrying that thing.
Another busy week in politics draws to a close.
What are you doing tonight?
Now, troll a few discos, get totally spannered and try and find a shag, I imagine.
Of course.
What about you?
An almost complete stranger has just invited me to a party.
Well, why don't you go?
Well, I was going to go home, down a bottle of wine and have an early night.
Here's a tip. Don't. Early nights are not a good topic of conversation for Monday morning.
Enjoy yourself. It's later than you think. Enjoy yourself. While you're still in the pink, years go by. As you wink, enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself. It's later than you think.
You came.
Well, your invitation came at a good moment. I was fed up.
I'm very flat. We'll just have one here and then make a move.
Looks a bit crowded in there.
So we'll stay out here.
Enjoy yourself. It's later than you think. Enjoy yourself while you're still in the pink. The years go by as quickly as you wink. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself. It's later.
That is so arrogant.
Why? I'm just saying, you're smart, you're funny, you're attractive. I wouldn't have thought Tori would be the fourth leg of the table.
There's nothing left for you lot, Scott. There's no ideas, no energy, no vision, no force for renewal.
Enjoy yourselves.
This can't be your brothers.
Go to school, learn the rules, don't be no faker. How you doing, rude boy? Hello, darling. Are you enjoying yourself?
I'm doing okay, thanks, yeah.
You are fucking gorgeous, by the way. Come on with me, I'll show you a good time.
Fine.
I'm good at that, am I? Now, Scott here, he knows how to have a good time, but not too much. Not to vulgar excess.
Come on, mate, you're completely mothered.
Yes! That is my USP. I buy the party hats. Come on, come and do a Lyman and Boggs and me,
No,
sweetheart.
no, I'm fine, really.
Oh, okay. You stay with sensible Scott, eh? First place, second loser? No, that's not right. Anyway, fuck this. Where's my drink?
You should go home, mate. You've been on it for 3 days solid.
Yeah, that's right. Go home like sensible Scott. Enjoy yourselves.
Take you home, I'll get on.
Come on, Wendy, I'll take you back, mate.
Don't call me that, you fucking calculating prick.
We need an ambulance.
No.
I'm so sorry.
Fuck. I didn't go. I want my brother. I want Danny.
Okay.
So, I was wondering about well, maybe next week we could... Hello? Who? I've got a cab outside. Come on. Come on, I'll take you home.
It's my fault, Danny. I should have said something. Just told him to take his foot off the pedal.
No, it's not your fault. He never took his foot off the pedal.
If we hadn't been in all that bullshit competition.
Hey, come on. Let's go home, Scott. Come on.